Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. Well, this week we're actually going to talk about the monogramming, the monogram tool. How do I use an alphabet to do monogramming if it's not in the monogram fonts? And how do we save that design to a USB so we can go ahead and put it in our machine? And these are some questions I got over the weekend, so we're going to go ahead and answer those. So the first thing I want to point out is the giant M is for monogram. So we are simply going to left mouse click on that, and when I left mouse click on screen, you're going to notice it comes up in the quote monogram style. It comes up where you have your center letter and then you have your smaller right and left, and these are a third the height of your center letter, just about a third. Sometimes they're a little bigger, but they're always at least a third as big. So if this was an inch, these would be a minimum of 0.33 inches. So we're going to look. Now let's look at this. Now, of course, you can see that we're going to type in our monogram letters here. So let's just say our name was Walter Floriani and his middle name is Augustus. So WFA. Then I would decide the height of my center letter, and I'm going to say it's 1 inch. And then we can look down our list here and we can look at all the monogram fonts. Now these are fonts that work well for monograms. They are specifically chosen because they do work well for monograms. But we can come down and we can see that there are also monograms that are classic, or they're regular monograms that you see on everything. Everybody's familiar with seeing these monograms. These are monograms that you're used to seeing. And if you look around, Colonial is very familiar. So if you start looking, you'll recognize a lot of these as traditional. That's the word I'm looking for, traditional monograms. But we also have a lot of other lettering in here that works very well for monograms. So let's go ahead and just pick Devonshire. Now I'm going to tell it, of course, that I wanted it 1 inch tall, and then I'm going to apply. Now this is what that monogram looks like. Now you'll notice in here that maybe I want this W over just a little bit, because mathematically it's correct. There's the same amount of distance here as there was right here. But because of the look of the letter being curved, you really need this one, the W, to be over just a little farther to look good. And you will notice I just grabbed my orange square and it allows me to move or deal with these letters individually. So if we didn't like Devonshire, we would just come through and of course we could pick another one. Now I want to point out right here, anytime you see, anytime that you see pretty decor around them, see how in our preview we can see, and this one has decor, this one has decor. So when you see the ones with decor, they have some added fun. So let's pick our garden monogram here. Now see that it has some pretty stuff around it. So because it does, that means I have got decor. I've got different types of embellishments that go with this font. So let's pick this embellishment. Let's go back to 1 inch tall and let's apply. So you can see there that I have got some extra fun in some of these monograms by using the decor. Now you'll also notice that in here, let's just look at some real fancy stuff where it's real done around. So there's some pretty fancy decor. So we can go in and play with the different decor in these different fonts. And so we also have monogramming. Let's look in here. Let's go down and we could have done a 2-letter monogram. So let's just do Walter Floriani and come down and come in here, and we would see, if we start looking, we might want one that just has a couple of letters in it. So let's look. I think I would like that solid, and I'm going to apply. And you can see I just have the 2-letter monogram, or you could have done a single letter. So you do have the choice whether to do 1 or 3, and when you do 3, it's going to size your right and left proportionately that it needs to, except when you're using, well, it still sizes proportionately, but when you use one of these that has decor around it, sometimes it does a little different. Let's go ahead and put the A for Augustus here. And if we come in here and look at this, you'll see on this one that it did size our center letter different. But when we were up here at the garden monogram, notice that my letters are all pretty much the same size. So depending on the style and the decor, it may change a little bit on the sizing. And of course, we can come over here, go to our 3D view, and see how we like it. And remember, 3D is a suggested view because you're looking at a 3-dimensional object on a 2-dimensional plane. So it's not exactly, but it just gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So once we've done that, then we would go File, Save As, and then you're going to pick where it goes. Well, I'm going to go to my computer and pick my little jump drive. Now, once I have a jump drive here, I'm going to name this name this one WFA Mono, so I know it's a monogram. And then I would pick my file type, depending upon what machine that I'm going to use this to stitch out. If I'm going to use a Baby Locker Brother, you can see those are here. We've got our Janome, our Bernina, which is Melco. We've got everything we need here to save our designs into. So then we would pick what we want, and I'll just pick, I'll pick Bernina for this one. And then I would save, and that would be on my jump drive. Then I could take it out of my computer and go put it into my Bernina and bring it up, or my Baby Lock, or my Brother, my Foff, my Viking, whatever it is I want to save. Now this is using the monogram tool, but what if, because you are limited to the alphabets that or the fonts that Walter has chosen to be the best for monograms. But what if you want a different font? Well, let's look at what we would do. I would go into text and I would left mouse click on screen. I'm going to go into straight text here, left mouse click on screen, and then I'm going to come in here and type in WFA. Again, I'm going to look in here and I'm going to look at fonts. Now I can look at all the fonts because it says all fonts here, and I can look at any of my fonts. Or I could come in here and say, well, I don't want to look at all fonts. I really want this to be maybe a script font. Let's say I want a script. Now I can look in my script fonts and start looking at something that maybe won't be in my other one. How about this Margaret? Now that I don't remember it being in my fonts for my monograms. So there it is. I'm going to make that 1 inch tall, and I'm going to apply. Now I'm not going to make it 1 inch tall. If I want my center one 1 inch tall, remember I told you the right and the left are about 1/3 the size. So let's make them about 0.35. 3.3 would be, but let's make it about 3.5. Now we will apply that. So now here are my 3 letters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this center letter and I'm going to select it. Now notice when I click on that orange square, it highlights just this letter. So now I'm going to make that about 1 inch tall. I can see because it's about 1/3. There we go. So those are about 1/3 the height. And then I can move that in to where it looks good. So I can kind of move that to the right or the left, or if I deselect it, I can use my kerning icons to move, give myself the spacing that I want in here. Now the fun to doing your monograms using the regular text, some of the stuff you can do is I could come in here and say, well, you know what? I want this to be done diagonally. So I could come in here and make this diagonal to put a monogram on something. So you can have a lot of fun with this stuff. Now let me talk about one other thing with monogramming. Let me come over here and get a new piece of paper. I do know that there's a lot of things that have huge monograms on them. And they may be one letter, they may be 3 letters, but let's just go ahead and let's stay in our regular text, and let's do Walter Floriani Augustus. And let's say that we're putting this on a purse, and we're going to make it big. So I'm going to say I want this to be about 3 inches tall. My problem is going to come once I apply this. My problem is going to come, you notice I've got a message that this is way too wide, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. When you create a satin stitch, if it gets too wide, if it's over about 10 millimeters wide, it's not going to stitch properly. Really, on a knit, it should never be over 7 millimeters wide, but I'm going to pretend I'm going to put this on a leather purse or a faux leather purse. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I get my little ruler right here on the left-hand bar, I hold down my left mouse and I drag it across. Notice this says this is 0.34 inches wide tip. Use a fill. This is too wide to stitch properly, and it's not. What it's going to do is it's going to skip stitches because it's too wide. So now I'm going to look at this. I'm going to hit my escape key to let go of my ruler. I'm going to move this in a little closer, and I'm going to get that message, because anytime I do anything here, that message is going to come up, letting me know that this is a little bit too wide. But that's okay. I'm going to pull this in to where I think it looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the word fill. See in my properties box, I'm going to come to fill because this satin stitch is not going to cut it. Now I've got a couple of options here. I can come in here and I can pick a different fill. I can pick a smooth fill, apply. So now, whoops, let me move these back in. Now when I pull this in, it's going to be a fill that's got some, where the needle is going to penetrate in that fill pattern. And so I'm going to look at this, and that's going to look much better, and it's going to stitch out properly. So when you start making those monograms huge, you're going to have to fill that in. You cannot use a satin stitch. So that's important to know. Now again, just to go through real quick, to save this to a USB, a jump drive file, save as. Then you're going to come in. This is going to be, I'm going to pick Baby Lock Brother this time. Now I'm going to select that, and I'm going to put this WAF large mono, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that as well to the jump drive. Now you can see that's on the jump drive. If I go to open, I go to my jump drive. There it is in a WAF and a PEZ and an EXP and a WAF. This is my Bernina. This is my Baby Lock. Now notice there's a WAF there as well. We should save everything we do in WAF as well as in our machine format, because the WAF, the Walter Augustus Floriani file, is a working file. It's information, it's not stitches. And how the reason that my software or mine saves it in the WAF automatically is I went into my tools and my preferences, and then when I came in here, I tell it what's my default format. So if you always stitch on a Brother or Baby Lock, you could pick that format. If you always stitch on a Viking, you could pick that format, or a FOF or a Janome. You get the idea. But notice right here, I have auto save in WAF format. So now what happens is anytime I save a file, it's going to save it in the format I've chosen, be it PEZ, EXP, VIP, whatever you've picked, but it's also going to save it in the WAF format. So if I want to go back and make any changes, I can bring in that information file and it's saved everything. And notice what I mean by that. I'm going to open the Pez. Now when I open this, if I select this, it's just a design. Notice there's no more lettering properties here. It's just a fill, and it's a smooth fill. Okay, now let me open it, and let's open it in the WAF. Now if I open it in the WAF and I select it, notice I have all my control points back. I could change my font. I could change my size. I can do anything I want to that WAF file. Once I save it as a PES, an EXP, a VIP, it now has lost all this special information because now it's a design file. It's not an information file anymore. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on monogramming. I hope you enjoyed learning about saving as your auto format and how to save to a USB stick. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week.